Hail to Adam AF, the best comics gate show Saturday mornings, Arch City Comics. Great show, topical stuff.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is the Weekend Woke-Up Call. Good morning, everybody. What is up? Welcome to the Weekend Woke-Up Call. I am Adam AF. Joining me today, we have a very special guest co-host. It is Mr. Matt Wenger.
What's up? That intro was nice. It went on just a little bit too long. I almost fell back to sleep.
Oh, sorry. Oh, well, that's why it's supposed to be rocket. It's supposed to wake you up, man.
But I was wondering why you're so dangerous to our democracy.
Well, it's not just me; it's the spreading of false and biased news, which happens quite a bit, especially on that Comic Arts Pro Secrets channel. You know, he just lets anybody come on and just say whatever they want on his massive platform, like Mr. Alasmat Films saying that I have the best show on Saturday mornings.
Well, I can say, yeah, that is not fake news.
Well, it's supposed to be satirical.
No, you have the best morning show. Period.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, and good morning, Sim, as always. How are you doing today?
Good morning, and good morning, CG.
Good morning. Good morning. We're also joined today by, we have John Gallagher and Carla Tornielli.
Hello, morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning. Good. Glad you guys could join us. We are also... Oh, sorry, Sim, what?
I was going to say, you guys are lucky that I still have my morning throat. You know, morning voice. I was going to do the Good Morning Vietnam.
Good morning, Comics Gate.
Exactly, but I didn't feel it.
Oh, well, you should have said something. We could have segued right into that after the kick-ass intro that put Wenger to sleep.
No, it was awesome. I'm just teasing you.
We also have a very special guest from across the pond. He would have been our CG JUMPSTART interview of the week on Tuesday night, but since he is across the pond, it's pretty late for him to do that. So he's on this morning with us. It is Mr. Paul Shires. Sorry, I knew I was going to do that.
Okay. That usually happens. Don't worry. How are you doing, everyone? You all right?
In my head,
good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are.
It's Paul Shires. It's Paul Shires. And then the first thing I fucking say is Paul Shears.
That's what happens. As soon as you focus too much on something, you go, I can't do this. I can't. And you're going to do it. Boom.
Damn it. Yeah. I knew something was going to go wrong, and it only took 4 minutes.
Well, isn't it kind of just like a regional thing, though? Because that's what we would say here. So if Carl, Carl O'Rowe, he would say his name is Kyle.
Carl. It just sounds like Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hail to the chat. Good morning, everybody. Oh, we've got Terry, the mad typist, in the chat. Also, Alasmat Films. What's up? Ryan Magus, the real Steve Dye, is with us as well. Hail and good morning. Right. Hail, brother. Wake and bake.
That's not just any Steve Dye. Now.
Hail, Steve.
No, it is definitely not any Steve Dye. It's the real Steve Dye.
The editor, man.
Yeah, the editor supreme.
Mm-hmm.
We got Chris Heavens hanging out with us as well. Dodd Situ, hail. Sean Davis, Panboy, the Renegade, the Vigilante. Good morning. I even seen Kristen McGee was in here earlier. I don't know if she's still creeping around, but she was here. Hail and good morning to you. 8-Bit Elvis, Sean Davis, Daddy Duder. Felix Haas, good morning, everybody. Mr. Yonafui said, Adam AF did nothing wrong. Well, I hope I didn't do anything wrong.
Did you see that all-star people in your chat, and then you doubt that you have the best morning show in CG?
Well, I have the only Saturday morning show, so I think I want to say it's best by default, but I'm still going to take it.
You know, we're technically the replacement of the Saturday morning cartoons.
I'm sure there's somebody else that has a morning show. Like there's so many YouTube channels, maybe like those. That guy weirdo, the skinny guy, you know.
Yeah, and they get lost in your shadow, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Actually, I know Alaz did. He got up super early and did a show with somebody. I had it on the tip of my tongue. Was it Sean Davis?
Elasma is in the chat saying he had a morning show.
Oh, yeah, he said he debuted his morning show today. Mine is still the best. Oh, thank you, sir. It's practice makes perfect, man. The first episode of the Weekend Woke Up Show streamed to one person. That was Man of Sex. And since it was my first live show, I didn't pay attention to the chat the entire time, so he went neglected for the whole hour and a half, I think, that we streamed. But I'm learning, getting better. You got
to build a platform, like I've streamed for like a year with nobody watching, and we still did it consistently.
Yeah, I mean that's that. I didn't get discouraged by any means streaming to just Man of Sex that first time. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna do it again next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and then I think I got drunk and passed out and slept through the show, and then we did it the weekend after that, though, and on and on and on.
Yeah, for like a year, the only person in my chat was Bean from Paw, and then I got big and she didn't like me anymore. But I'm not doing anything different. It's just weird how that works.
She's a very jilted ex-lover.
Oh my.
She really is. She just gets pissed all the time.
I tried to make peace for her. You guys know that because I appreciated the fact that she was there. But she ain't having it. Yeah.
And we got Michael Beacon just showed up as well. He says, "Hail everyone! Looks like I found something to listen to on the way to work." Hail, brother! Thank you.
Hail,
absolutely. We got Man Bear Pig. He says, "Bean from Pa."
Yeah. I'm about loyalty, like I'm not going to just throw somebody out, but if they throw me out, then all bets are off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's on then.
Mm-hmm.
And we got True Comment also hanging out with us, and El Gargoyle. Good morning, brothers. Thank you very much for coming. So let's start this off in the wokest way possible, shall we?
Okay, bring us the wokest news.
I feel like this is some pretty big news, and who doesn't love emojis, right? Everybody uses emojis these days. So in 2020, we have 117 new emojis to look forward to, including a transgender flag, woman in tuxedo, and a gender-inclusive Santa Claus.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, God damn it is right. So this is, yes, clapping hands emoji, please. The Unicode Consortium, the San Francisco-based nonprofit that oversees the emoji universe, announced Wednesday the addition of 117 new emojis as part of its 2020 update. The emoji 13.0. 13.0. That's pretty incredible.
So there's a whole business that does this shit. Can you imagine if like you were on a date and they were like, and you were like with this really hot girl and she asked you, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And you said, "I make emojis."
Yeah, I don't know. In these weird millennials, she'd probably get wet.
Well, I wouldn't want to be with that girl that would think that was cool.
I don't think that. Yeah, I would expect any normal person to run away and be like, "Okay, get a real job, loser."
You never know if they get a bonus for the ones that get trending. Hey, maybe they get rich.
So, hey, baby, let me tell you something. You know that poop emoji that's like the most famous one? I didn't make it, but I sit next to the guy that did.
So let's read this, and then we'll take a look at all of them. Maybe not individually, since there are so many, but we'll look at some of the highlights. A list of 62 new icons, as well as 55 new skin tone and gender variations, will soon join the family of the popular ideogram that has become a universally understood way of expressing emotions, feelings, and the occasional martini glass garnished with an olive.
Isn't that the amount of new genders that they put? 62? Isn't it?
Yeah, we'll say yes. That sounds right.
It showed right away a bride with a mustache.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna look at these because some of them are spectacular.
Awesome.
It says some long-awaited images, such as the transgender pride flag and the transgender symbol, were finally recognized by the organization to the delight of some Twitter users. After I don't know how many years petitioning, putting teams together, pitching and campaigning for a trans flag emoji, it's finally happening. Trans flag and boba tea, I can die happy now. I don't even know what boba tea is. Do you?
It's this like Asian drink that has little beads of flavor in it.
Tapioca. It's a tapioca, little jelly balls in it. It's a bubble tea. Yeah. And it's usually made with green tea, and then depending on what else you want to put in it.
Yeah, you can usually get it at like the sushi stand at the mall.
Yeah.
I don't really drink tea.
Or
so
cocoa buns.
I'm a coffee guy. Just give me coffee. Paul, do you drink tea over there? Are you a tea drinker?
I do, but I tend to drink more coffee.
Okay.
I much prefer coffee.
What about boba tea? Do you have boba tea there?
I've never heard of boba tea, no. But from the description just given, I probably wouldn't be drinking it very much.
See, I thought Boba Tea was Boba Fett's like cousin or something. I don't.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I bounty hunt for Java Hutt to finance my bet. I feel in deep space. My mask is over my face. What's that?
I said that was Ice-T's cousin.
Boba tea. That was the Boba Tea rap.
I like the Boba Tea rap.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Other images that celebrate LGBTQ inclusivity include Mix Clause. Is that right? MX Clause? Is that how you say it? Mix Clause?
Mixelpitalik, I think that's what it means.
Okay. It's a gender inclusive alternative to Christmas's first family, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. A woman or non-binary person wearing a tuxedo, a man or non-binary person wearing a veil, as well as the new person feeding baby with a bottle emoji, who can be a woman, a man, or a person who doesn't identify with either. Until this year, the only emoji that depicts childcare is the breastfeeding emoji. Since the inability to breastfeed doesn't preclude you from nurturing a child, we want you to introduce an emoji that everyone can use. Why can't you just say you're taking care of your kid? You got to use an emoji?
It would seem like it.
I don't know why the breastfeeding one is a symbol for that. Like, why does it have to look just like you? That's what I don't get about this stuff.
I don't either. It says here, this is from one Twitter user, getting to see yourself and your pride in technology you use is validation that you are being heard and that your voice matters, says the analytical.
But you don't matter.
This is
everyone is special, Sim.
You know what that means, right? That nobody is.
This is a very special, like, fast IQ test. Is you ask somebody if they give a shit about emojis, and if they say yes, you know that their IQ is below 90.
Move along. Nothing to see.
So when do you think they're going to get rid of the the person waving their hand, because that's ableist for people who don't have hands.
It won't be long.
It probably won't be. They're going to start removing the hateful emojis like the OK symbol and man waving pretty soon. I bet.
It's like they said, like, you know, like a new emoji that everybody could use. Can I identify with it? Can I use all of them?
Yeah.
I am triggered now.
Well, calm yourself down, because there are some more far from controversial objects, including a magic wand, a sewing needle, and a collection of nesting dolls, and a rainbow-colored piñata. But that actually sounds very controversial. I mean,
I don't know.
It sounds like a gay piñata.
I don't know what to think or what to say without an emoji.
It's a war campaign piñata, and that is controversial because people do have war campaign derangement syndrome.
No, that's for sure. So let's make this. Let's look at this image individually here and highlight some of these just amazingly inclusive emojis. Yes, there is a mammoth. Let's see here. Let's switch the screen over.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, who identifies with a mammoth?
Well, that's the only one I approve of so far.
Hairy and horny.
I approve of the mammoth and the ninja.
I like the squirrel.
So we do have, we got a ninja. We
have a dodo.
You have a rainbow of ninjas.
Yeah, you have a dodo.
We need to be able to zoom better on this. Hang on.
It's very important if you're using a ninja emoji that his skin tone matches yours. It's very important.
That is. All right, there we go. Now we can. Whoa, that's real big. Okay. So we have. Looks like the that Italian, like the finger pinch.
What's the matter with you? What's the matter? What's the matter?
Chris Evans is saying, why is there no hillbilly emoji? That's what we need, is a guy that's just wearing suspenders and no shirt and like has a straw in his mouth.
Yeah, where's the hillbilly inclusion, man?
It's the new redheads. God damn it.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, it's high.
You're the next ones. It was the gingers, now it's the southerns.
Got the bottle feeding the babies. Okay. You know, I don't see, but where's the bottle feeding of the mixed race baby? You know, like where's the white man feeding the black baby?
You don't really see what the baby looks like.
No, they're hiding it. I think there's a reason they're hiding it.
So you can just imagine it's whatever.
Did you notice? There's no redheads. There's a blonde, there's a brown, there's black, but there's no fucking redheads.
Oh, there's not?
There's no fucking redheads.
Dan, I think they really are trying to get rid of
I'm not
redheads.
a ginger, but I'm Auburn, so I take partly offense to it. and I have brothers that are ginger, and I love them, so fuck them.
I'll
Bring
tell
the ginger
you
back.
that in a world, I think going on 8 billion people now, there was maybe 2 people that wanted a non-binary Mr. Claus.
I wonder, is there more LGBTQ or redheads in the world?
Oh, I don't know. We might have to do the research on that. Ryan Magus says that's the hand gesture Borat made when he said anus.
Yeah, they hate us because they anus.
El Gargoyle asks, do all homosexuals have mustaches? That's a good point. This isn't the 80s anymore.
True, and now we know that they like it silky smooth. They like a minty chap. No,
I don't know. Enlighten us though, Sim.
You guys never watched that Steve Hugh gay piece? He's a stand-up comic from Australia. Steve Hugh.
No, I'll have to check that out.
If you haven't, check it out. Check the skit that offended and on gays. That you remember that joke I did with the manly man? He goes, "That's not manly." What do you mean that's not tough? He fucks a bloke. There's nothing more tougher. Anyways, check it out. It's funny.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, the man in the mustache and the veil, that's certainly something there.
Macho.
So we have a bison and a dodo.
Yeah, some of the less offensive ones. We got the mammoth, the very skinny, very malnourished mammoth. It looks like.
Yeah, if I was a caveman, I wouldn't even hunt that.
No, it looks
probably a vegetarian.
Almost looks like a baby. That's kind of morbid. Ooh, but I know I'll be using that beaver emoji often.
Oh, it's beaver. Yes, and the dodo.
Was
Forget
this?
the dodo.
Is this Swedish fondue?
Yes, that's cheese fondue. Yeah.
And we got a tamale and I guess a pancake.
It looks like pita bread. It's got like grill lines in it.
There's the infamous boba tea. See the
Oh, okay.
bubbles
That's
in it?
what the. All right. It looks
Yeah,
just like
that's a
rocks
bubble
in there.
Yeah, it's little. It's jelly tapioca. It's made of tapioca.
Interesting. Oh, look, we get a worm. I know we'll be using a lot of that one.
We already have a worm in Ethan's special emojis.
That's true. They're just look, EVS is setting trends again.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
I
A
like
nice
the
log.
The Russian doll there. That's cool.
Yeah, I think we can get some use out of that log.
I think so. Here's a nice rock.
Yeah, you have a hut, a stick, and a rock. So I think you could really troll somebody with that combination. If they were like poor and you just keep sending them that this is all you have.
That's savage. Why do you need a gravestone emoji?
Hey, my dad died today, gravestone emoji.
Sad face.
I think it's more like I wish you were dead type of thing.
Now, can you imagine how vapid it would be if you were really sending that for a departed loved one?
Yeah, I'm still surprised that they put a dodo. Why a dodo?
Yeah, I don't know the dodo bird. Maybe they're not as extinct as we thought.
One of the stupidest bird there was.
Well, apparently they were so delicious that they just were hunted into extinction. So I can imagine what a dodo tasted like.
I think I imagine like the most succulent chicken. Succulent.
Like Sam was saying, they were dumb too. You could just walk right up to them and bash their head in.
Yeah, literally. They would not even run away.
That's the legend anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder. I guess that's where the term comes from. Then you're a dodo.
It was the inspiration for that little. It was probably the inspiration for that little alien in. Remember the Last Jedi? I think they did that little stupid little bird-looking thing that Chewbacca was eating.
Wasn't that the porg?
Yeah, that's pretty much the attitude that they had. Is pretty much what the dodo was supposed to be. Like, what? You're eating my own? I'm still here.
Interesting. That's a good possibility. Let's see what else we got here. A gold coin with somebody's face on it. I can't quite make out what it says on it. There's a word at the bottom.
What?
On this coin here. I can't see. Let's see. Can we go zoom further?
Who's the mystery man on the coin?
Looks like Josh Whedon.
Yeah, I can't make it out. That's too tough.
Hold on. Gustavo?
Gustavo? Who's Gustavo?
I say Tabo at the end, so
I think it's that guy on the memes. You know,
Gustavo.
The guy that smiles weird at the computer screen.
I think we're putting way too much thought into who the hell's on this stupid coin.
Yeah. It's probably just said bastard.
Well, there's the magic wand they were talking about. When I read magic wand, I was actually thinking like Harry Potter, like magic wand.
No,
not like
classic. That's
not
classic
like
Houdini.
Terrible magician wand that flowers are going to pop out of.
Yeah, but that is more recognizable as a cartoon.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to think about that whenever that you're making a really simple design. What are people going to look at and automatically know what it is?
Yeah.
Hey, we have an emoji now for Move the Needle.
We do. I would say that's Thread the Needle. That's kind of sexual.
Oh. Okay.
See, we got roller skates. Ooh, a flip flop. That'll come in handy, I'm sure.
I like the pinata. We're gonna be using that.
There's two amorphous blobs hugging. That's useful.
Is it?
Next to the helmet, what's going on there? It's like two blobs hugging each other.
I know there's nothing distinctive about either of those forms.
You know, that makes me think of none of you guys watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
When they end up to that old woman thing. I'm here if you need to talk. Hey, I'm here if you need to talk.
Oh yeah.
I'm here if you need to talk.
The gray one does kind of like, it makes me think of an old person. I don't know if it's the color or the way that it's like kind of hunched over, but I'm feeling an old person in that.
Because it's like a faded version of the blue. That's
yeah.
Yeah, instinctively you go, it's a faded version, yeah. It's older.
But we got a boomerang now for our Australian brethren.
Yeah, that's representation for like Rob or Liam.
We got a nice look at that toothbrush. I know a bunch of people use that one.
Can that pickup truck be like the redneck emoji?
It's the red van.
That works.
It could be. It is kind of it does kind of look like a beater pickup truck, you know. It's not extended cab, short bed. Doesn't look like it's 4-wheel drive.
How did you call those cars that used to be like a pickup in the back?
El Camino.
El Dorado, El Camino. Is that it?
Yeah, El Camino was the Chevy version. The Ranchero was the Ford version, I believe.
Yeah, it was a car with a pickup pickup back instead of having a.
Chris Evans talking about the amorphous blob says it reminds me of Naked Gun when they wear the full body condoms and hug each other. Oh shit, yeah.
That was hilarious.
All right, what else we got here? We have very realistic heart and lungs.
Yeah, I don't know why you would need that. It's weird.
I don't either.
I mean, it's like it's the loose knots there. It's like go hang yourself or something, or.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about either. But where's the smoker lung? Now you're leaving out smokers. That's a very perfectly healthy pair of lungs. Where's the smoker lung emoji?
That is a large demographic. Way
is.
larger than transgenders.
Especially, there's a lot of weed smokers now too. So
And look, do you notice like this is very this is poor here because they have the transgender symbol and flag at the very bottom of the page. I feel like that's like. I'm surprised it's not. Why isn't that up here at the top? You know, with all the.
I'm not getting that freaking thing there. What's the point of that blue square there with two?
With the up and down, I don't know. I don't know either.
It's
not even a gender neutral bathroom, I think. So it does go there.
I was thinking it was an elevator.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking like at least if it wasn't been like all gender or something in the bathroom would have been like one woman, one male type of thing. But no, they're two the same and one's up, one's down. And you're like, what does that mean?
It's two men in an elevator.
Yeah.
It's so weird, all the energy that goes into trying to please less than 1% of the population. I don't understand what this is. I don't know why it happens. It's so weird to me.
And what's that thing that looks like that taffy that we used to have as a kid there? Is that supposed to be a flag on the right? Remember those old taffy little candy that we used to eat? That was
that's Sim. That's the transgender flag. You immoral, terrible person.
I thought it was the full rainbow scheme.
No, the full rainbow is that's just gay
in general, and it's like the overarching one.
Okay, so you're telling me that each letter of the LGBTQ
has a different flag.
Has a different flag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I had that graphic at one point in time. I don't know if I still do, but yeah, there's like 60 different flags.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tumblr kids put a lot of thought into their flags.
That's special, and I'm doing air quotes.
No, I could hear it in the tone of your voice. So this brings up something interesting that Wenger showed me right here in the pre-show. Steve Dye says, "Don't be an uneducated bigot, Sim."
Yeah, I'm really offended by Sim's behavior right now.
It is piss poor. This is the woke show, sir.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
So, I can't believe what a homophobe you are.
Oh, what? Me? No. I love all brothers and sisters.
So would you put any of those new emojis on your license plate?
Yeah, the devil one. The little devil with the grin there. I would put that on my plate.
You would.
Of course I would.
So apparently Vermont could be the first U.S. state to allow emoji characters on license plates. This is where we're headed, folks.
This is stupid. This is so fucking stupid.
He just gets right to Chase. Hey, this is dumb.
Sim's fucking triggered now. I can hear it in his voice. He's getting mad.
I'm waking up. It's like, what the hell's this?
That's what we do here. You get so angry that you're just totally awake.
It's true.
Here you have like a genuine reaction to shit. we don't mess around and we don't filter nothing.
No, pretty much. Unless it's gonna get the channel struck. We're all well behaved enough anyway here, I'd say. But so during the winter of 2019, a personalized license plate vendor located in Queensland, Australia, began offering plates that could be customized with one of 5 emojis. The icons, however, are merely decorative and aren't officially part of the registration number. Lawmakers in Vermont are following suit and are set to become the first U.S. state where emojis are legally allowed on license plates. Couldn't you just put a sticker on there?
Yes, it could.
Like, do you have to?
But it's probably going to be illegal to put a sticker on something that's like a play because it's governmental. So they're probably going to put that rule that you can't put a sticker because you're going to get a $500 fine and pay $400 to have that emoji on your plate. Thank you.
Just be a normal person. Put a bumper sticker on your damn car.
Yeah, but it's not special.
You know, at least if your license plate number was a bunch of smiley faces, it would be easy to remember.
Just smiley face, laughing.
Yeah.
Smiley face, tear laughing.
But you know, I think
he cut me off in traffic.
And you end with pile of shit.
If you did that, you would get pulled over way more because the cops would see it and just get so pissed off that they would be looking for something to pull you over for.
I think we should just go with the. I think it was in Back to the Future with the barcode license plates. I think it'd just be a whole lot simpler. Like you put big barcode scanners on the front of cop cars, and they just come up behind you, scan, do the instant background check. Oh, we're not looking for this guy. Move along.
You know, we should have by now or soon. We should have those type of like animated stickers. You put the sticker and you could with your cell phone decide what's going to show on that sticker. Let's update. Put a smiley face animation.
That's what you want out of all things. That's what you want, Tim.
It's way better than that.
This is what I would like to have is like a shortwave radio where you can talk to the cars in your vicinity just so when somebody cut you off, you could be like, hey, fuck you.
Dude, I thought of that back when I was in high school. But it was shot down by my science teacher because she said there'd be more road rage if you could yell at the other car directly.
I think that if you could actually tell somebody that they're an asshole, they would drive a little better.
That's what I thought.
Flashers.
Kami Mark in the chat. He said cops would pull you over for having a black-skinned emoji, then shoot you in the face. Good morning, you commie bastard.
They would say that and just be like, ooh, I'm going to have a good day today.
We got Skits Comics hanging out too. It says, Matt Wenger, looking forward to my harem.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we didn't hit that goal last night, did we?
Not, if I'm being totally honest, I didn't want to because like doubling the pages at this point would have been a disaster.
It would have, it'd have caused some issues.
That's why I made that cutoff because I didn't want to hit it when I was going to print.
Right, you're like 5 days ready to print, and you hit that 24K goal, and you're like, "Fuck me."
If I get this straight, though, is you didn't close the campaign like the in demand. You just closed the stretch goals because I thought you were closing everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. People kept thinking that they were confused. That I'm not closing the campaign. I'm just moving on. I'm going to be pushing Aldrake now.
Yeah,
we're going to be working on getting the book out to people.
Mailing list for that is in the description.
Yeah, Aldrake.com.
Yeah, you were smart. You just bought a domain name and linked it.
We did really good though. Super Harem is at 20,880.
Nice.
Nice, you got that 88 in there.
Yeah.
Just stay right there.
Yeah, and today we're having a special Super Harem with Joe Balls on the Doodle and Chill.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, we were at 555 backers like all night last night, which I thought was really cool. Just straight fives.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. So to close this article, it says, like in Australia, vehicle owners will only be able to select from a small collection of emojis, so not the thousands that we have on our phones, to include on their plate, though it has not been disclosed which characters would be available. I really hope poop is one of them. I hope poop is. The draft bill states the emojis can be added in addition to the distinctive number assigned by the Commissioner of Motor Vehicles or the numerals and letters selected by the registered owner of a vehicle as a vanity plate. Thus far, no price has been suggested, nor has a date been set for when Vermont residents will be able to purchase the plates. More information will likely be shared over the next few weeks, and we will, of course, share that with you when we have it.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Does the police in the States have that technology where they can be in your ass and just talk to you through your radio?
What?
Yeah, we had that here. They could just send be behind you, like following you, and then hook onto your radio station and just like move aside. Yeah.
See, that was a real thing.
Yeah, they had it for a while. Yeah. They removed it because people we're getting scared. The fuck. But yeah, it happened to me with one of my friend in the car. He was just like, pull over. You're like, the fuck? Just over the radio.
Yeah, that's weird, man. You're rocking out, man, to some Wasp, and all of a sudden you got, sir, could you please move aside?
Yeah, but it doesn't help them if you're not listening to the radio.
That's true.
What if you're listening to a CD and they're trying to talk to you and you just can't hear it?
CDs. Listen to how old you are.
It's all MP3s now.
People still buy CDs, don't they? If they're like big music fans,
yeah,
they want to have it physical. Like we still buy physical comics because we're just big fans, you know.
Do you guys remember that you used to buy a CD, like a music CD, and it used to be like $10, like $8, $12 max. Now it's so rare that people buy CDs that when they sell them, it's like $25 to $35 now. Go on Amazon. I just went like, oh god, the new band's coming out. It's like $30 at a CD.
That's insane.
Yeah, people don't buy them anymore.
Yeah, Common Mark says, what if you're listening to your gramophone in your car?
That's what Joe Biden listens to when he's driving down the road. Elevator going up and down. It's like, yeah, this is some good jazz.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm with the Lazmat. I still buy DVDs and Blu-rays. They don't buffer like Netflix does.
True.
Well, and Netflix takes movies away, and Hulu takes movies and shit away. If there's a movie I really enjoy, like I want to be able to watch it whenever, not when it's available for a limited time on whatever streaming platform you choose.
Yeah, and when you buy the Blu-ray, usually you get the digital version, so you can keep on your computer in any app.
That's true too. So Paul, how are you today?
I'm all right. Yeah, not too bad.
So we were trying to get you on the CG Jumpstart between the panels on Tuesday night, but with your schedule and being across the sea, it's just too late of a show.
Yeah.
So, so fill us in a little bit. What do you have working in the magazine?
So Steve and Gat got in touch with me about getting a page done, or maybe several pages. I'm not sure exactly yet, but basically to do with he had a few ideas of what he wanted, but effectively I've gone with like a sort of Alamo sort of theme in terms of using some of the Comicsgate characters. It's not been sort of confirmed yet what I'm going to draw, because Gat's been quite busy, so I've kind of been pestering him, but he's been busy with Vestige, so we need to confirm exactly which characters I need to draw, etc. But sort of like a cowboy theme, cover art really. So it's not going to be comic story, etc. Just cover art.
Okay, so essentially you're doing like a big splash page.
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
Well, that's interesting. That's very cool.
Yeah, because the thing is, so I'm kind of more of a cover sort of artist, really. A lot of the stuff I do is realism. I kind of, in terms of comics, I love comics, but I kind of, when it comes to actually drawing, I tend to like to focus on, a cover or something. I'm more of a cover artist, montage, etc. I kind of, I actually tried my hand doing some comics, and I wouldn't even show them because I don't think I'm very. I don't like the repetitive nature of when it comes to the actual drawing of them. I thought I'd be all right with it, but it kind of gets a bit. I don't know. I just like doing covers and sort of real detail work in those.
Kami Mark says you are the Comicsgate Alex Ross.
Oh. That's high praise. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so you do. I was looking at some of your stuff. You do trading cards.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago I started doing this. So basically, trading cards aren't that big a deal over here in England, but obviously in America, baseball cards and Star Wars have all kinds of top stuff that comes out. So they also have, as part of that, sketch cards and autographs. So you can basically, I applied to Topps and an upper deck, which does hockey and basketball and that. So basically, I applied to them and they like my work. So they send over cards, and you, as pay, you get a very small amount per card. You'll maybe do 50 cards a set. You'll get a small amount per card, but they'll give you some licensed cards to draw on, which can sell for more money if you obviously do your own work on them. They can sell for a bit more money. But to be honest, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be doing it, really. Maybe a few more sets, because it's just so... The style I've got, I mean, I like to try and make every card I do really detailed. And, I don't want someone getting one of my pieces of work and they don't really like it. Because otherwise, why are you buying these cards? And it just becomes a mountain of work for not that much money, really. So I'm trying to do a few different things at the moment. One of the main things, really, I'm not very good at marketing and sort of selling my art. I like to think I can draw reasonably well, but I can't really sell it very well. So I just try different things, I'm more of a sort of cover artist, so I'm going to go down that tack, really, I think, and try and keep to that, and maybe do some. Have you heard of Redbubble? Yeah. So I heard Peter Gilmore, and he was. I've seen his work on there, and he seems to think that it's quite a good sort of a way of getting like an income from your art. So I'm going to try doing that, I think. It's just trying to come up with something that makes money kind of regularly. So
I think we need a good Alex Ross type cover artist. I think that'd be a good like niche for you to try to overtake.
That's why I just love detail. Like, for example, I'm doing a Mandalorian one at the moment. Obviously, like, I'm trying to sell things, so I'll do like some of the mainstream stuff like Marvel, Star Wars, etc. One of the ones I'm doing now is a poster of the Mandalorian with the Baby Yoda, with like a sunset and stuff in the background and spacey sort of. It's just like an old school, Star Wars montage piece. So I'm going to do that and try and I'll probably post that on Twitter soon and try and sell that. But that's the kind of work, really. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to do more detail work. I love people like Frank Frazetta and people like that kind of cover artists, real fantasy art and sci-fi art. That's what I'm into, really.
Yeah, I could see you doing like almost kind of like movie poster pieces for some of these books. Actually,
that's the thing. Yeah, so that like, I mean, I don't know if you've. I'm quite a big Star Wars fan, and you know the old books, the old expanded universe, as they used to call it.
Now they're called Legends.
Legends now, yeah,
yeah,
expanded universe. So like Heir to the Empire and Timothy Zahn's and all those old books. They always had. I mean, to be honest, I could almost buy them just for the cover. I just love the covers; are just amazing on them. So that's the kind of art really that I'm really into, montage movie stuff. Yeah,
that's cool. I'm currently rereading Shadows of the Empire.
Oh, that is brilliant. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
that and Dark Empire comics. The Dark Empire comics.
The Dark Empire with Cam Kennedy. I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, brilliant comics. Great art, great story. Yeah,
the Tron trilogy.
The Tron trilogy. Yeah,
Heir to the Empire and stuff. Oh, dude, that one was sick. And Shadow was.
Shadows of the Empire. I can't believe, like, with the new trilogy, I can't believe that they didn't use something like a Timothy Zahn sort of novel to help them shape what they were going to do. Instead, they went with this pathetic. I don't know what they've done. It's strange because they had all this great material to use.
As soon as I came out of watching that Last Jedi movie, I was so pissed.
Yeah,
all I had in my head was like Dark Empire. I got home and I did like a painting, like a digital painting of Dark Luke.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that, Sib.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I love all that stuff.
Yeah, Disney's biggest mistake was destroying the expanded universe. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then they turn around and Kathleen Kennedy's bitching about they don't have any source material for these new movies. Like,
it's a huge statement to just say that was their biggest mistake because they've made so many mistakes. Like they've seriously done everything wrong.
And Dark Luke would have fixed everything. Remember when I told you, like, they could have fixed The Last Jedi just by pretending that the old Luke was another projection, and then you revealed the Dark Luke.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Like, hey, the one that just faded out, like, that made you think that he died like a bitch. Yeah, that was just another astral projection because here's Dark Luke.
And
then
that'd have been a. You could have fixed a lot of things.
Then you introduce Mara Jade, and then you realize that raised their kid, and that's why she's so fucking powerful.
Yeah. Instead, they give us this absolute shite. It's just I don't know why they did that. Really annoyed me because Star Wars is, I don't know, like I've just been into it so long. I love it so much, and
maybe we should do that. CG should go aside and make a free comic. let's do that ending.
That's a good idea. I mean, I like the idea in a way with some of the clone sort of making clones of characters and stuff, but I don't think the Rise of Skywalker, the idea they had with the Emperor, I don't think it worked.
Nope.
Because it just brings back it just ruins the end of for me now. It ruins the end of 6 for me. So for me now, I look at it like episodes 1 to 6 is Star Wars. The other 3 episodes, they're kind of, well, I don't like them, but they're kind of like just a story arc somewhere. Like they're not really, in my eyes. Star Wars ends, the saga ends in Return of the Jedi.
That's how I look at it too. Like when I start showing Star Wars to my kid when he's older, that's how it's gonna be. It's episode 1 through 6, and then that's it. That's it. It's over.
It's like I said when I saw the last one, the Rise of the Skywalker thing. I didn't even watch it entirely. I couldn't.
I haven't seen it. I'll watch it when it's free or on Redbox or whatever.
I said it. It gives me the impression that the end of the movie is, hey, well, those Skywalkers, well, they were losers. They lost.
Yeah.
The dark side, Palpatine, the Emperor, well, he won.
Yeah.
So now the Sith, are walking around owning the space, wearing your name, and we own you. There you go, bitch.
It's like they were struggling. When I watched that film, I've only seen it once, so it's the cinema. When I came out, I just thought it's like they were really struggling to sort of come up with an idea of how they can end this. Like, it's pathetic. These people are supposed to know what they're doing. They're supposed to be. Surely you get the cream of the crop to try and write these things, and they're just so crap. Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, no, they don't ever get the cream of the crop because they don't believe in meritocracy anymore.
Yeah. Sad. Very sad.
That is definitely a big issue over there with Disney. It's all the virtue signal. Let's put this person in charge because they check boxes A through B, and screw this guy because he's been a Star Wars fan his whole life and has this amazing script.
This is what happened when you get diplomas just for showing up.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's what they just released news from the Obi-Wan series that's supposed to be launched at the end of the year, but now it's on hold while they rewrite the entire script because Kathleen Kennedy didn't like it.
It happens so many times, doesn't it? Now, every time there's a new Star Wars announced or they're going to do something, they seem to have rewrites. They just can't. I don't know how normal it is. Normally, I suppose they have rewrites, but there's a lot of people like you get like the Colin Trevorrow who got sacked, and there just seems to be a lot of shit going on behind the scenes, and it doesn't seem settled at all. They just need to get rid of the leadership. I don't know whether it's hard for them to. Well, I suppose it's hard for them to get rid of her because she's a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just they need to get rid of her. Yeah, need someone else.
Oh, you sexually aggressed me when you fired me.
Yeah, that's what it'll be, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy herself is toxic to the fandom.
Yeah, definitely.
You talk about toxic fandom. She is toxic to the fandom.
Yeah.
Hey, we got James Hayes in the chat. What's up, brother? Good of you to show up this morning. Long time no see. Fatty057, what's up? He says, it's a trap. We got Papa Kennesu says, Dark Luke would have been clutch.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have All About the Books. Yo, Arch. All About the Books.
And, the worst part is you could even explain it with The Last Jedi. Because remember when you see the old faded type of Luke, right? Yeah. Did you ever? I don't remember which book it was, but there was like a one Jedi that went nuts, that had like a split personality, and it gave two different projections of him.
Yeah, I'm thinking that one. I think I do remember reading such a story. I can't remember who it was though, the actual character.
And in The Last Jedi, you see the old Luke over there, right? He's like grayish. He has more gray, and he looks faded with wrinkles, right? But when you see the projection of him at the end when he goes and facing the the Last Order. Dude, he looks mean as fuck. He looks younger. His beard's darker with two white stripes, and I'm like, that would have fit. Like that would have made it. You could have said that was the actual projection of Luke, the dark Luke, and the other one was just like his subconscious doing the good old depressive Obi-Wan version.
Yeah, you could. I think that would work, and that would have been an easy way to fix the crap.
And then you go, and how did that happen? And you go, well, it's simple. When he went and saw like Ben, right, Skywalker, instead of trying to kill him, he felt the fucking force. He felt the influence of the Emperor or Snoke, and he went looking for him. And that's how he fell into the dark side because
Yeah, that'd have been a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Sketch Therapy in the chat. He says, hail Mark. I'll never hail any form of communism, but I can hail Mark. Hey, we got Mr. Biggins. What's up, Mr. Biggins? Hail CG. Hail chats.
Hail.
Thank you for joining us. Ryan Magus is here also. Hail, Ryan Magus. All About the Book says, is Arch CG? Oh, yes, sir. 100%. CG only, my friend.
CG to the fucking core.
Damn right. Speaking of CG, we do have some great books that we want to show you guys today. John, Carla, are you guys with us?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
So, yes, you have the Grim Reaper issue 2 is now live on Indiegogo. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure thing. We just launched about 4 days ago, and we had a pretty reasonable goal to begin with, and we passed it already, so we're really happy. Thanks to the CG family for showing up and showing the love for sure. This is the sequel to our first campaign, the Grim Reaper 1. We already closed that one, and we just fulfilled the last of it not last night, but yesterday. So we kind of got ready to move on with the next one. That would also include the Grim Reaper one with a variant cover for those who back to the first time, and the Grim Reaper one with the old cover for those who are backing it for the first time. And the story and the stories in the Grim Reaper 2 will include the Grim Reaper 1, the Grim Reaper 2, and also a spin-off.
Oh, very cool.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I really dug issue 1. I thought you guys put together a great story. Carlo's art is on point, and actually, like, it's one of those that I know, Sim, you're going to relate to this 100%. That as you read through the book, you can feel her art progressing. You know, you can feel her maturing as an artist, which I think is just really, really cool.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, Adam, for saying that. Like, that's actually what's happening now. Like, yeah, because it's so many hours that you have to put in each page that you actually get better from page to page. I mean, I have been drawing for years. I don't know if you know, guys, but I have been working as a manga artist, like since forever. So I'm kind of new to this like Western style that some of you say that it's like a blend of manga and Western, which I agree. I still have a lot of manga influence there. But the thing is that I'm still like adapting and finding my like new style, to call it a way. I think it's a blend. So yeah, actually now in Green Reaper 2, I'm using different techniques, very different techniques. So like if you back issue 1 and you compare to the images you are seeing right now from Green Reaper 2, you will see a huge difference. Also, guys, thank you everybody who helped us with the GoFundMe and the stuff. Thanks to that, I could get a new tablet, which I lost with the house. So that also helped to improve a lot. The final result. So I lost most of the files of Green Reaper 2, which I already like. I'm already finished. I'm now drawing the spin-off. It was so fast in comparison to what I used to take per page. So yeah, guys, most of the pages you are seeing there, yeah, they are mostly finished. Just a little tweaks with the lettering and with the speech bubbles. But yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to say it was honestly our pleasure to help you guys out in your time of need. It's one of my absolute worst fears is to lose everything to a fire like you guys did. So yeah, it was a no-brainer to set up that GoFundMe to help you guys get back on your feet even just a little bit. It was actually kind of funny. After it was Panboy was the one who he alerted us to what was going on. It was kind of late in the evening, and as I was going to bed, I was like, "Man, I'm gonna get up tomorrow, and I'm gonna either set up like a PayPal war chest, as we like to call them. We did it for Malin's family and for Anna's family when they lost loved ones unexpectedly, or like do a GoFundMe." And when I got up the next morning, Tinfoil Hat Nick was already on it. He was like, he's halfway through building the page, and he had a couple of messages sent to me like, "Hey, it's like, I've never done this before." He's like, "Can you give me a few pointers like here or there?" So we got it all smoothed out and got that launched. And I'm ecstatic of the support that you guys received. It's just a small testament as to what CG is really about, helping each other and seeing the best of each other.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Nick was amazing. Nick was amazing, and so was everybody else who showed up. But yeah, it kind of goes to show what Comic Day is about, like you said, and the support and the help was much appreciated, and he helped us a lot. But Nick was also not only like with this initiative and all, but very encouraging because he kept saying this is going to be a blessing in disguise at the end. You guys will see that there's going to be some good things that come out of this, and there were at the end, like she says, some of the art and things even improved by having to remake them from scratch. And we also got to buy new stuff that we needed anyway. So So you know what I mean. Just kind of looking at the bright side and the positives of it, and you know, there's always good things that come out of situations like that. So you can't really be, you know, always too sad about things like that. But yeah, so we're happy that we launched and that we're ready to keep working on like you said on improving the books and putting quality work out there for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, very very excited to see what you guys think of the second issue, along with the stories that are kind of going to be part of the same universe with the Grim Reaper one and things like that. We're going to tie up loose ends with characters and with story arcs and things like that, and we kind of want to expand it and go from there, and very excited about them.
That's awesome. We got Papa Kenesu in the chat. He says, I'm glad everything worked out. When crap hits the fans, that's when the community comes together. That's when the word community actually means something. And that's what separates CG from just the indie comics crowd. I mean, you know, anybody can make comics independently. But to come into the CG scene and to say, hey, I'm CG, that means more than just I'm here to make comics. It means I'm here to support everyone else who's here to make comics, because if we all succeed, it's better for everybody.
And that's been true. That's been true really throughout, because like when we first started too, you know, live streams such as this one and others, and would have us to promote the book from, you know, without knowing us and stuff. So, you know, the support has always been there, and that's why we we work hard to give back any way we can. You know what I mean, with just putting out the best possible work we can. So that's what we're all about here, just trying to make the best possible comics and just making fun for everybody to enjoy. And yeah, and those are some other fan service there that we're making for you.
You should give some context, baby, about this. They are getting all the good stuff, but not enough context.
Yeah, Man of Action says, what did I log into? Looks good and dirty.
That's actually going to be if we hit the stretch goal of $2,000 of free peanut for everybody who's backed the book, or who's backed the campaign in any way. So that's gonna be kind of a free peanut, 2 characters that are in the book. And yeah, like my wife was saying, a lot of the art still needs a little bit of a touch up, so that's not the final view, but that's pretty much more or less what it's gonna look like. But that's gonna be a free pinup if we hit the threshold of $2,000, which is perfectly doable. We got a lot of time left. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys just launched, and you're already at 1332, which is a great start. You got 31 backers. $2,000 is easily accessible. I would say within the next week, you guys should be able to hit that $2,000 mark, and that'll pass the first campaign, right?
That will be awesome, because like the first campaign, what did we get on first campaign?
Well, we spent we got a little bit more, but we pretty much spent the whole 2 months getting that, and this happened in 4 days.
Less than a week, yeah.
Yeah, so there is a big difference there for sure, and it has a lot to do with the fact that more people knows us and stuff, and we fulfill them.
It proves that your backers were satisfied and they all came back in less than 5 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It has a lot to do with that, because
there's the beautiful John and Carlo. Look at you guys.
Hey guys.
There is issue 1 for the backers who bought it in demand. We just shipped them out yesterday, with the pinup and stuff like that. So everybody who backed the book 1 in demand will probably be getting it in the mail really soon. Obviously, everybody who backed it before that got it, and so yeah, so we closed down that campaign already. I think it went effective like 3 or 4 days ago, because it takes some time for the Indiegogo to close down like campaigns once you actually end them.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay.
There's a delay, yeah, and then so like I said, book 1 will still be available within this campaign, along with a spin-off story that would really tie in with the universe of the Grim Reaper and of the characters really nicely. And yeah, I mean, this is I don't know, this is an upgrade, you know, in all ways. You know, for our first time was a learning experience. You know, like you yourself, Adam, was mentioning about the margins and stuff. You know, things that
everything's fixed.
Things that we're kind of learning You know what I mean? Things that we're kind of learning, and for sure, we did better next time around. And so we definitely appreciate the feedback that we got. That was the main thing for us, you know. For us, the first campaign was kind of like, you know, let's launch and let's learn how to do it, because we, you know what I mean? But all the feedback that you guys kept giving us helped us, you know, fulfill better and get better next time around. And that's what we're all about, you know, improvement. So the Grim Reaper 2 definitely got
ooh, look at that
makeover and things like that. Yeah.
Ha cha cha.
Just a good part. Woo. No, this is the pinup I made for the first issue. Like, John forgot to mention, but we launched this campaign, I think, last October, September, October, and we already got everything fulfilled in November. So we weren't planning to go in demand. We went in demand, and so those last customers, we had to order again from the printer. So those last customers, just we just shipped everything. So that's all good.
Yeah, and it was lucky that we hadn't received the books when the fire happens, because we would have lost that too.
Yeah. You know, small victories.
Right. But the books got here. You know, they got here a little late, and we were able to fulfill everybody. So we're happy about that, and you know, ready to print issue 2, because it's already finished. It's already done. You know, like all the art except for like a few touch-ups here and there, and with the lettering and stuff like that. It's already almost done, and so yeah, ready to start working on printing that and everything else.
That's awesome. And yeah, I will say you guys had a wonderfully fast turnaround from purchasing the product to getting it in backers' hands. And, you know, that's one of the biggest things that people bitch and complain about, especially the anti-CG, is that these books, you know, you say they're going to come out this month and then they're not out 6 months later. Well, you guys, if I'm not mistaken, you guys were actually way ahead of your estimated shipping date on that first issue.
You're supposed to be waiting for this like for May 2020.
Yeah, we gave ourselves a pretty.
We already have reviews and everything.
We gave ourselves a pretty generous deadline, because you know what I mean. Just in case, you know, there was any issues with printing and or shipping or anything like that. But we knew that we were probably be fulfilling sooner, because we didn't really launch the campaign until we were like 90% done with the whole product. Same thing here, you know, you won't have to be waiting much. We still gave ourselves a few months to fulfill, but it'd probably be a lot sooner when you get it.
Yeah, I mean, I already finished issue 2. This time we're offering 2 books. That's the difference.
3.
Well, three counting the first issue, but I mean, I had to draw from scratch this 2, and issue 2 I had to like draw it 2 times. Yeah. But it's done now. It's done now. I only have to worry about the spin-off. That it's just it's less pages than the other one. But in total, we are offering, well, as you can see, this first issue is stapled, and the next one we want to upgrade it, and we want to do a perfect bound finish. So it can't be less than 40 pages. So to be honest, I never know how many pages until I actually finish everything, but it won't be less than 40, because you need at least 40 to get the perfect bound finish. So the perfect bound is when you have this flat part and you can put it in the shelf, and I love that. So yeah,
I do too. I'm a big fan of you know, trade paperback style books that are coming out. Like Drew Love, he's in the chat. Hail, brother. He put out Captain Love, also a super quick turnaround on that book. A great, amazing looking product. That nice perfect bound. It looks so good on the shelves. I do love that. I still love my floppies. You know, there's nothing wrong with those good old fashioned floppies with that staple binding. But yeah, and it really seems like Comicsgate is a lot more receptive to the thicker, you know, trade paperback style books. They seem to do a lot better on the campaign end.
Yeah, the thing is that these books don't cost like $3.99 like in comic book stores. These cost much more. In our case, it's half of the standard price. Like you can get, well, this was for $10, And the issue 2 is $14. So it's very, 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 very inexpensive. However, when people buy these kind of books, they are buying quality. So you will always have to put quality as priority.
Yeah, you get the
Oh, absolutely.
cover and the pages too, so really, really good. Really good deal for the price and everything, you know. and this time we are lowering the prices of shipping, so it's gonna be probably even less to back the book than the first time around, and you get more pages and you get the same quality as the first one. So
Yeah, and like I'm not only talking about quality in the printing, which is of course very important, or quality in the art, which I strive to do well, but also like the story. I'm sorry, babe, but I always talk about how I love how you write.
thanks. Yeah. Let's. Yeah, if we go to the Indiegogo real quick.
Yeah, here, let me flip it over.
I could show you guys a little bit about, kind of tell you about what the story is about and the comic and stuff. So in this campaign, we're launching 2 books, as I mentioned before. I mean, we're launching 3 because we're launching the Grim Reaper 1 with a variant cover for those first-time backers. But so this time, the Grim Reaper in the Grim Reaper 2, we're going to follow the same adventures of the Grim Reaper as number 1. For all of those who backed it, you probably remember that the Grim Reaper, this time around is kind of it's a role. It's a you know what I mean. It's a job that someone assumes if they want to. This time is the Red Baron from World War One, the famous war pilot. He becomes the Grim Reaper and basically takes on the mantle of the Angel of Death. In this issue, he is it is kind of a murder detective kind of story. You know what I mean? He is not only we explained that he's not only entrusted to reap the souls of mortal people to take him to the underworld, but that he's also in charge of making sure that immortals never die. So when an immortal being is killed, he has to investigate who did it and especially what did they use to be able to pull that off. So it kind of goes into this murder mystery kind of drama at first, like a kind of detective comic at first. You know what I mean? Him trying to find out who's behind all that. I know we finished issue 1 with kind of a really cool cliffhanger. We're gonna explain that one away. That's where we pick up. But yeah, so this issue has a lot of that, and then the Grim Reaper has to go and find that soul of the immortal who was sent to hell and kind of rescue her out of there. This time the Grim Reaper will be accompanied by a good friend of his, a horse that can actually breathe fire. So it was a lot of fun to write, and I'm sure it was a lot of fun to draw as well. And so yeah, we're gonna have a lot of that, a lot of action, lots of fun, and lots of good storytelling, hopefully. And the spin-off story kind of shows us the story of Rasputin of Siberia, how you know, he was fatally ill, he was about to die, but he was good friends with the Grim Reaper because he was a known necromancer. You know, he talked to the dead and all that stuff. So the Grim Reaper comes and basically tells his friend that he's about to die. Rasputin says, "Look, man, if it's my time, it's my time. Whatever, just have a drink with me one last time, and I mean, let's celebrate, I guess." And the Grim Reaper does that, and between drinks and singing and things like that, Rasputin challenges the Grim Reaper to an arm wrestle competition, and the Grim Reaper accepts, and he tells him that, being that Rasputin is so cocky, if he can actually beat him, he will give him something that will allow him to stay alive so long as he wears it, which is a medallion. Rasputin does that, and he manages to cheat death, and beats him at the arm wrestle. And the Grim Reaper gives him a medallion that he has to keep on to survive. And as you all know, the story of Rasputin, that's how we kind of do it. We did it with Vlad Tepes, with Dracula in issue 1, and things like that. We kind of like to throw historical facts in there, and just kind of, I don't know, comic book eyes them in a way. You know what I mean? So this time, so Rasputin, as you know, in history, it was very tough. It was very tough to kill him when they tried to pull it off. You know, they poisoned him. They shot him a couple times. They threw him in a frozen river. Nothing seemed to work. And that's how kind of I'm explaining it out, that he was wearing this medallion that that death gave him, and that's why they couldn't kill him until they get him off. They get it off, and so the story really revolves around the medallion and a different character that will show up later. That's gonna the Grim Reaper is gonna fall in love with. So yeah, like I said, expanding universe, kind of tying everything together and exploring new characters, new adventures, new settings, and things like that. I'm very excited about this whole project. It's a passion project for us. The Grim Reaper 1 really brought us a lot of joy, and I know that a lot of you guys, the back there, really enjoyed it, and I'm sure that you will enjoy this one as well.
Yeah, I particularly loved that you killed Tim Lim's bunny and mounted it on the wall.
It was a creepy take on the bunny.
Yeah.
That was honestly my favorite. Like, reading this book, I'm all into it, and I flip to that page and I see those two bunny mounts on the wall, and like, I mean, I laughed out loud. I was like, this is so fucking hilarious. I love it.
Well, the thing with when we first started in Comicsgate, we were really unaware of anything that was going on. You know what I mean? Of who anybody was, and they were just like, okay, just go to this live stream, just go to this other live stream, and we'll be like, sure, we'll just go, we'll show up, we'll promote the book, whatever they'll have us, and you know what I mean, and then slowly but surely, like, everybody started showing their true colors and things like that, and midway through production, we realized who our backers are and things like that, so we're like, well, we still fulfill, but we do it in our own clever ways.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, you guys showed up on the scene, and you're like, hey, we love Comicsgate. We've got this book. You didn't know all the little dirty things that go on behind the scenes, and that's fine. You're trying to push your book. You want to get on whoever has a platform that's going to allow it. There's and there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody holds that against you. And yeah, unfortunately you learn as you go.
It was a learning experience all around, man. But like I said, we're Comicsgate all the way. We've been from the start, because you guys welcomed us with open arms from the get-go, and we couldn't be more grateful. And look at what happened, when our house caught on fire. You guys all jumped to help us out any way you could, and you did. And without you guys' help, we wouldn't have been able to launch the book at all. So yeah, when people ask us if we're CG, goddamn right we're CG. How could we not?
Well, I mean, I think you guys were welcomed in with open arms so quickly, because I mean, you talked to you guys once, and you have a lot of passion about your work and about comic books, and just trying to put out the best product that you possibly can, which is what CG is about. You also bypass a lot of the drama, because you guys are hard workers, which it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I guess, because then you don't know of all the little going-ons and maybe who you shouldn't deal with. But like I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you'll learn as you go. And crowdfunding in general is just learning as you go. As you kind of touched on that a little bit earlier when you were talking about printing the book and everything. This is all new to a lot of people. But yeah, you guys are like Drew in the chat. He says, Team Grim Reaper is family. Yeah, you guys are absolutely family. I love your passion. I love your project. You guys are very talented. I want to see you guys go very far in Comicsgate.
Thanks. Yeah, we really enjoy this, man, and thanks to Drew, his family too, for sure. He's been super supportive from the get-go. And yeah, like I said, we had a dream. We wanted to fulfill it, of course, and you guys made it possible in the end. So we're really happy. Like, we're not in this for the money, obviously. We're not making like the big numbers that a lot of the guys are doing with, that have more established names in CG. We're in it for the reads. I want people to read the book. I want people to get into it, and I want people to enjoy it, and I want to get the feedback back to be even better. I mean? So we're in this for the long game, for sure. We plan on launching many more campaigns as part of the same universe that we're starting with the Grim Reaper, and others that are going to be completely independent from it. But we're passionate about comic books. My wife is a manga artist, and she's into manga, and I've been into comics forever. And it's heartbreaking to see what's happening to the industry and things like that. So we wanna bring comic books back to their former glory. You know what I mean? I think that CG is doing that a lot with a lot of books that have come out, and some of which we personally, not just me, but also my wife have supported in one way or another, and that we are very very eager to see and read ourselves. So yeah, I think that CG has not just us, not just me and Carla, but I think Comicsgate in general. If these great projects and with great quality books keep coming out, we definitely people are gonna start to notice for sure.
Well, and that's the thing. You guys are still relatively new. You guys came out on the scene fast, and you put a book out fast, which is phenomenal. But you just take one look at this campaign compared to your first one. You're almost at what the first campaign made in a fraction of the time. So you guys are proving that this is a sustainable industry right here, just with your 2 books. Look at some of the guys who made 6 figures on their first campaign, and the second campaign maybe still made 6 figures, but you've seen a big drop off. You guys are growing, and that is very, very important to look at in this Comicsgate industry.
Yeah, and I think another thing to look at is also the timing. Like we are coming out of December, out of Christmas, and we're still selling books strongly. And I mean everybody in Comicsgate. I mean, you look at Vinny, you look at Cecil, and everybody who's launched in just the first month of the year, and look how well everybody's doing. And I think that says a lot about the people are hungry. People are hungry for good content, whether it's books, movies, music, and things like that. And if the mainstream is not giving it to them, they're gonna find some other way to get it. And we're more than happy to be there to express ourselves, to express our ideas, to show our art and our writing and things like that to anybody who would read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we also are super, super proud of being, well, Nick is not here today. We miss Nick. But Nick chose us as his silver medal favorite book in CG of 2019. So
oh wow, that's an honor.
I'm so happy. Like that's a huge honor. Like that's my pinned tweet on my profile. I'm super, super happy about that. Like we really appreciate
Nick. Let me tell you about Nick, man. Nick reads into things. Like he's actually kind of very intellectual in a way. You know what I mean? Like when you get
he's super intellectual.
Yeah, when you get to know the guy, when you get to talk to him like we have, because I'm very honored to call him a friend. Just as much as you guys and everything. But Nick, when you get to talk to him, you realize that he's actually a very, very smart guy. And
don't let that accent fool you.
Yeah, no.
I always say that if everybody sees something, Nick sees in HD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he sees some things that even we miss sometimes, from our own projects. So he will tell us things, and he'll be, and that makes us think that people are paying attention. He's paying attention for sure. When he read it with passion, and he definitely enjoyed a lot of the things that might have gone over some people's heads, and I think that's great. Because with just like any kind of visual form of art or storytelling, people typically obviously gonna look at the art first, which is wonderful. My wife has done a great job, and I'm very proud of her. And then the story comes second. But for Nick, he wanted to read a book. You know what I mean? And he read it, and then from there he will decide whether he liked it or not. And I think that was very cool. He definitely enjoyed what the story was about. That's something that you don't get very often when you're talking about you know what I mean, this kind of medium. A lot of people like pretty pictures and a lot of great art. You know what I mean? And then the writing and the storytelling comes second. But for Nick, the storytelling comes first, and that's something that I was really surprised, because he is very, very smart.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, Nick, he's taking care of family today. And unfortunately, could not be here. That's why we had Wenger, who mysteriously disappeared. He had to dip quickly.
Maybe
we got Casey Ozawa in the chat. He says, "I was suspended from Twitter for calling Prince Harry's wife a tranny." Yeah, that'll do it, sir. That will do it. Hail Casey Ozawa. Yeah, the blood fart soldier. Oh hell, yeah. I definitely I urge everybody to check this out. $30 plus shipping, you get all 3 issues: issue 1, issue 2, and the spinoff. That's a steal. It really is. You guys mentioned that before, that you have one of the more affordable books out there right now, and that's true. You get a lot of bang for your buck with you guys, and you can even keep it on the cheap, $7. Get you the PDF. If you just want the digital. A lot of people can. I see a lot of outside CG people complain that, oh, nobody does digital. Like, there's actually quite a few people that do digital. Yep. It's just, if you actually pay attention to Comicsgate is it's a customer movement of collectors. People like to collect the physical copy. Yeah. A PDF is great to read. It's great to have on the go, to store in your phone, on your computer, whatever, but it has no value other than the entertainment value. I like my physical books. I've got, I don't know, a dozen plus long boxes absolutely stuffed with comic books. I like my physical copies. When the world ends and technology dies, I'm going to have my comics, and you guys are going to be crying over your PDFs.
That's right.
Yep, I have it. Yeah, I'm the same. Dude, I supported the Alterna thing where you got all the number 1s and number 2.
Yeah.
And I download, like, oh, cool, I'm going to be able to check. I have no interest. I can't even freaking read digital comics. I get bored.
I'm the same way. It just, they don't grab me in the same way. A lot of times, like I read my PDF of Samurai and Dinosaurs because I was really excited to read it. I read the PDF preview of Kristen McGee's The Good Night because I was excited to read it. But as soon as I get those books, I'm going to read them again because it's just not the same. I want that book in my hands. I want it.
Also, the art looks different. Like, it pops out so much when it's printed. It's very different.
I agree. It does look very different. There's people in CG even that'll argue that, well, I can read Cyberfrog on my big screen TV. Yeah, that's cool. It's neat, but man, I'd rather have that book in my hands and just hold it really close to my face, get the smell of the paper and the ink.
It's a whole experience.
It is. It really, really is.
Yeah, I'm serious.
To me, I guess like I always tell people, anything helps. Any way you can support the campaigns. I mean, if you're really passionate about supporting indie creators and people from Comicsgate, an affordable PDF is a good option. You know what I mean? I've done it. I've backed PDF projects before, because they were more affordable and for me. But also at the same time, we also tell people, and we've seen this to be true, that a lot of people who are international backers, a lot of times go for a PDF because it's just international shipping is just so goddamn expensive. You know what I mean? But yeah. But some people do like you just said. I really, if you can. And if you want to, of course, definitely back the physical copies. We have a really good printer, and
the quality is awesome.
You know what I mean? And
it was.
We love it. We really love it because of the gloss, and I mean, comic is pretty indestructible. You know what I mean? We try it, and I love it, So yeah, if you can back the physical tiers, do so. I really recommend it. And if you're a collector, then you really don't want to miss out on that one.
Yeah. We got a Sketch in the chat. Hail Sketch. He says, comic and entertainment collectors seekers. Comedy sucks on TV. We will buy your book if you're funny. Funny rules, CG. Look at Cecil. Launch like a rocket because he's hilarious. We'll treasure and collect it. Very, very true. I've been following the chat. They're quite lively this morning, talking back and forth with this All About Books who is new to CG. Well, welcome, brother. It's always good to have new people around, and they're talking about CG versus War Campaign and this and that. And Mr. Biggins here says War Campaign is rated R version of CG. That's it.
Hell yeah.
And then let's see. Man of Action says War Campaign is the rowdy lunchroom table in high school. That's fucking accurate right there. That is fucking accurate. Hell yeah.
Hell, War Campaign.
War Campaign is definitely nothing to fear. Even when I first came into Comicsgate, that was like the big thing. Like, oh god, those War Campaign guys. And then like watch a live stream. It's just damn good fun. It's just
I've never understood that. I've never understood it, to be honest with you. Why people think they're scary. I think they're just really funny. They're always really nice guys. I don't know.
It's because
people get that.
It's because War Campaign don't take shit and they call out people directly, and people. That's what one of the things that people fear the most is getting called out on their bullshit.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if people didn't throw bullshit at them, then they wouldn't get called out on it, would they? That's the thing. And they're just as I would say from where I'm from, I'd say they're sound, which means they're,
if you're spewing bullshit and treating your customer like shit, well, you're gonna hear about War Campaign.
Yeah, you're gonna get shit back. Yeah,
and that honestly, that raises a good point. If you look at the people who fear War Campaign, sure, there's people that it's not their cup of tea. Fine, whatever. You know, there's a lot of people out there say Cecil's not their cup of tea. Other people, myself included, fucking love Cecil. I think he's hilarious. But it's the people who actually fear War Campaign and who hate War Campaign are the people who are hiding something. Because like Sim said, they're afraid that they're going to get called out on their bullshit eventually, or they already have been called out on their bullshit and they're pissed off about it.
Yep. They got their Fifi cert.
Yeah, definitely.
How dare you?
Yeah, Mr. Biggins, again, he there's something that Nick says
Hell
so
yeah.
much. Don't start none, there won't be none.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
That's exactly right. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there that don't like War Campaign, but they've never, tried to start shit with War Campaign, and they're out there making books and doing fine. I'm not going to name names, but there are people out there with 5-figure campaigns that don't have the support of War Campaign because they, for whatever reason, one or another.
And it's thanks to War Campaign that a lot of the smaller people get light. Yeah. They're the ones that find me, that went and help Wenger and Joe Balls, Carla. They're the one that find those small creators, those new guys that are like in the shade somewhere that nobody's noticing and going, these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they they go around looking for people like that, and they're trying to help people. Yeah, it's really good.
We definitely do.
Grassroots.
It's like, welcome to the heavy metal side of comics.
Yeah.
We definitely do a lot of recruiting, in a sense, looking for those creators out there. And I know there's other guys in War Campaign that are actually on the mainstream side trying to recruit people over.
Just like CG JUMPSTART.
Yeah. I mean, CG JUMPSTART is a perfect example of what War Campaign is really trying to do. They're trying to elevate CG to its absolute highest level by highlighting the best and the brightest involved in this movement.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's even crazier that you get approached sometimes, even as a new guy, as an FNG, you get approached sometimes by people who have big channels, you know what I mean, and that will have you. That's a blessing, man.
Yeah, and also like as we told you, we are new. Especially in our first campaign, we didn't know where to go, what to do. We were completely uninformed. So we like never actively made a decision at first, but we just felt more comfortable with people from campaign because they were just lovely people,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and let me tell something too. If anybody like that's new and thinking about launching a campaign and starting, when we first launched, I remember the Women Pro 1, we got one backer like within 5 seconds of launching, because we've had a pre-launch page, I assume, and they've seen it on Indiegogo. After that, the campaign was dead for like a whole week or two. I mean, there was no movement at all, and I mean, at first I was like super excited because we got that first backer within seconds of launching. So I was like, okay, so this is going well.
Let's grab the popcorn and watch it.
Yeah. And then for a week or two, it just was completely like it stayed like that. And I'm like, well, I guess we're not gonna make it until the whole live stream thing started happening, and we realized that With Comicsgate, a lot of things, like one of the big things that we've noticed is that they really care about the creators. So once they get to meet you, once they get to talk to you, and once they get to hear from you, I think there's definitely a big spike in interest, and of course in support of your campaign. If they get to talk to you in any way, you know what I mean. That's undeniable that the live streams have really done it for us.
Oh yeah. This, I mean, the CG is built on these live streams. I say it time and time again. Comicsgate, yeah, there's talks. Ethan wants to put this con together in Florida, but CG in itself is a 24/7 Comic-Con. There's always live streams going on where you get to talk, interact with creators, hang out in the chat, ask questions, get to know these people that you're buying these books from. You don't get that in the mainstream. Even at mainstream Comic-Cons, you don't really get that. You stand in a long line, you pay money for an autograph, and then you get your autograph. They might say a couple nice words to you, whatever, take a picture, and you're on your way.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still really want to go, but you're right. But you're right.
To be honest, it's the best of both worlds. It's not just good for the supporters, the fans, to have access to the creators like 24/7 almost. But it's also good for us, the creators, to have your input 24/7.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Especially even not that Wenger mentioned, he's got his book Aldrake that he's putting together. The mailing list is up. It's in the description right now. He put a poll together on Twitter and asked, like, would you rather get a 100-page black and white graphic novel or a 48-page colored, comic book, essentially? And he let the fans decide what they wanted, which is that's just awesome.
Yeah, no.
What's the answer?
I actually don't recall off the top of my head. I voted for graphic novel. Because I bought his first Aldrake book. He had it up on Etsy for purchase, $10 for 120 page, kind of like digest sized or ash can sized, but it was great. Nice thick. I love graphic novels. Like I said, I don't have anything wrong with floppies. I still love my floppies, but it's nice to get that whole big story in one sweep. Instead of having to wait this long for issue 2 to come out, this long to issue 3 to come out.
But you get a feeling of more of a feeling of satisfaction, like having you remember when you read your floppy of 20 pages, you're always like, it goes by fast.
It does.
You read like 2-3 issues in a row and you feel more satisfied. That's why I was aiming for a 64 page. That's why CG's always been between the 48 and the 60 pages, like offering you like a miniseries in one shot.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, James Hayes, he says, he sums it up pretty good too. He says, over time, I've come to look at some of the creators as friends. I feel invested in helping them make it to a degree. Absolutely, man. Dude, that's what really got me going in all of this. I found a couple small campaigns that I liked that weren't, getting the attention they deserved. And I was like, hell, I'm gonna promote the fuck out of this book and retweet it on Twitter as much as possible, and hopefully get some more eyes on it and help these people get this book. I mean, it's in my best interest as well, because I want the book. I want this campaign to succeed, but it's good for the creator as well. And Nick tells the story all the time. The reason he got into promoting, the reason he is the promotion master of Comicsgate is because of the book Chaotic Flux. Me and him, we both found that book late in the game. Luckily, it was a flexible goal. It did not meet its goal, but it was flexible, so everybody got their issues. But we both found that campaign about the same time, and we started pushing the hell out of it. And watching that green bar tick up as you're promoting it is a fantastic feeling. Watching a book that you're invested in reach that goal mark, to hit that funded line, it's euphoric. It really, really is. And I absolutely love it.
Oh yeah, you guys do an amazing job of promoting this for sure.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You won't believe the amount of help and how much of a difference it makes to just one retweet. You know what I mean? one like, one comment. It can mean the world because it can reach somebody that may have not been familiar with the campaign before.
Exactly. It doesn't matter the size of your Twitter followers or anything like that. If you can get one other person to back that book because you retweeted it, you did good.
Yeah, and by the way, Indiegogo does tell you that. It shows you who's been directing traffic because of the clicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you're signed into Indiegogo, when you share the link, it has your backer like identification kind of number that it uses to track that.
Yeah, and we secretly did this, but I guess I'll reveal that here on the thing. We had a promoter champion in our campaign that we did something for.
Oh, sweet! That's awesome.
Yeah, so because we could, I mean, it was actually me, the one that got the most clicks, but then the second person below me got a little gift from us because they got the most clicks.
Yeah, the most referrals, I believe it's called.
I guess you could say, yeah, the most clicks into the campaign. And actually, not only does it show you that, but it shows you. And actually, Indiegogo was great. Indiegogo was great. Like before launching, we fished around, and for sure, Indiegogo was the best option to go.
Yeah, Indiegogo, it has its ups and downs, and I know some people have had off and on fights with Indiegogo. I myself went pretty hard at Indiegogo last year because they weren't releasing backer funds to some of the smaller creators when they were supposed to. And they're starting to kind of get their shit together. Some of their customer service is a little lacking, but they're good to us. A lot of these books, just because you say you're part of Comicsgate, aren't even allowed on Kickstarter. They're very biased towards the far left. And they like it that way, which okay, whatever. But Indiegogo is good to us. They don't care. They like the green that we supply. Hey, we got Dan Marshall, the milkman himself, is in the chat. Hail
Dan
from the future.
Dan from the future. Oh, this is good. Good talks. Good talks here. I'd see. We had something else here, another article that I wanted to bring up and laugh about. As you guys all know, the Super Bowl is Sunday. And of course, my favorite part of the Super Bowl, I don't really care who's playing in the game itself, but it's the commercials.
Yes.
The commercials, they make me laugh. But of course, Super Bowl ads are going to be going woke. I feel like they started going woke last year a little bit. There was a lot less memorable ads out there. They were all just kind of subpar. Some of them they started getting kind of dark with some of their advertisements too. Like, man, what happened to like the lighthearted, fun, make you laugh commercials? Like, you always get a couple in there that like they try to bring a tear to your eye, which I mean that's effective as well. But some of them are they're just fucking dark. So this year, what we have to look forward to is Madison Avenue will serve up its traditional mix of stars and products during the commercial breaks, but there will be some surprising firsts too. Facebook, which has been under siege by regulators, has brought an ad starring Chris Rock to promote its Groups feature. Its rival Google will also air a commercial promoting how it can be used to track treasured memories. Now, is Google a Facebook rival? I don't feel like that's even on the same plane. I mean, Google is Google and Facebook is Facebook, but I would say Facebook's rival is Twitter, if anything.
Who owns Twitter? Is Twitter owned by Google or by Zuckerberg, or is it like their own thing?
No, I think Twitter's their own thing. I don't think they are owned by either or. But we're going to see President Donald Trump and White House hopeful Michael Bloomberg will be blitzing viewers with political messages, the first from presidential candidates to air nationally at a Super Bowl. These ads will not be the only ones to break new ground. Viewers will also see the first Super Bowl spot to feature drag queens. It says inclusion and pride. The featured drag queens are Ms. Cracker and Kim Chi, and they will star in a spot for the hummus brand Sabra. A Microsoft ad celebrates the first woman and first openly gay coach in a Super Bowl, Katie Sowers, an offensive assistant with the 49ers. And a commercial for TurboTax also features trans actress Trace Lissette and Isis King, according to the LGBTQ advocacy group GLAAD. Oh, that's a mouthful. For too long, LGBTQ visibility in Super Bowl ads was nearly invisible, but this year will mark a breakthrough in LGBTQ representation for many prominent members of our community appearing in ads, the organization said. This is a positive step forward in reflecting the diversity of the world we live in today and the sign that global brands have woken up to the fact that the American public largely expects and wants to see LGBTQ people attached to their brands. You think that's true?
No.
I don't think that's true either.
The majority of American people don't. I mean, they actually did a poll, and they know this for a fact that America is mostly center right in the political spectrum. So them trying this is pandering to a minority. It makes no sense at all.
Well, it has been proven that mainly or everywhere, most people, like are towards the center. Everybody leans towards the center, that it be on a bit more left or right. Everybody's in the center because everybody wants to get along. So everybody wants to be, let's get together. Let's just understand.
And people have time for this kind of thing. People go about their days and they work, and they're not thinking about, whatever thing with privilege the far left is having, or whatever pity party they throw about it. This is not something that people actually think about. Only on the internet that they bitch about it. But
yeah,
that's 100% true.
Yep.
This goes on to say the future is female. Olay, owned by Procter & Gamble, will run a Super Bowl ad starring actress Taraji P. Henson, who played Cookie Lyon, a feisty music entrepreneur on Fox's Empire, as well as late-night television host Lily Singh and retired NASA astronaut Nicole Stott. The ad promotes #MakeSpaceForWomen and raises money for female coders. Why? Female coders? Why? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Why not just coders? Why not just people?
Yeah, everything's going to be about women now, isn't it?
Hey, let we want diversity, but we're very divisive. It's like the fuck, divisive. Sorry.
This is the quote that really got me here. It says, "The Olay spot and all the female characters is really interesting to me," said Charles R. Taylor, a marketing professor at Villanova who has conducted research on women and minorities in advertising. He says, "We're finding that female lead characters tend, on average, over the last 5 years, to do a little bit better with audiences." No. Ask Captain Marvel.
That's Star Wars.
That was the next one. It's like ask Rey.
Yeah, it's just not true, is it?
I don't think that's true at all. I don't know what kind of research he supposedly conducted, but it was either fabricated or just straight.
Yeah, but it's like, before movies used to be written, like stories used to be written that anybody could identify to the feeling or the quest or whatever that was happening in there, right? It was not the gender of the character. It was what the character was going through, right?
Yeah, it's the story element, the character.
The growth of his, him learning maturity or something. That'd be something. It's the growth of the character. And now people are just like so freaking self-centered, me, that they don't even look at the fucking story. They just want to look like, hey, it looks like me. I like it.
Also, and that's not even true. That's saying that I can't enjoy a movie with a black lead.
Exactly. It's like, okay.
Which is completely fucking false. Like,
according to their way of saying is, I cannot write a female character, I cannot write a black character, an Hispanic or something, unless it's in my blood.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is it backfires on them, and they know it. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many kick-ass female characters from all movies, like from the '80s and stuff like that. You look at Alien, you look at Terminator, you look at all those movies, and we like those characters. I mean, at least I did. But now you put highly unlikable people, like really unlikable people, like Brie Larson, and you politicize them, and you make them even more unlikable, and now can you? And then of course people complain about it, and then you're labeled a misogynist for complaining about it. You know what I mean? You can't really win with them, and of course it's gonna backfire because, like, you've seen a lot of movies flop. You've seen what happened to Charlie's Angels and other movies such. Uh, and then of course they're gonna it's a cycle, because then they're gonna blame the fans because they're toxic according to them, and why not? And not doing a service to women at all.
Like this Birds of Prey. This Birds of Prey is not doing very well, is it?
Well, look at it. My God, it's like they wanted that movie to fail.
Oh, remember that Batwoman series that failed too?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it, but the adverts for that were just, oh my God, there's no way I'd want to go near that.
It just faded away somewhere.
I was gonna say that was so bad that it was like a pebble being dropped into the ocean. Like there wasn't even a splash. Diller Draws, Hail Brother, says Charles R. Taylor finds everything interesting. I'm so sick of that guy. Typical Charles. And then, Man of Action. Now it's not about the sports. It's about them pushing their bullshit agenda. That's why I stopped paying attention to the NFL years ago, is because the NFL decided that they were going to go woke or go broke. And I mean, they lost a lot of viewers in the last few years because of the stances that they decided to take.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I read somewhere, if I'm remembering properly, I read that that football league with all the gorgeous women in bikini.
Was it the XFL?
Yeah, they get more viewing now than the actual football league.
But you know what's crazy, and I think this could be the answer to what's really happening. Like, I think that a lot of marketers and people who are supposedly experts on this kind of topics, they think that young people are more likely to be left leaning and I don't know, woke, or whatever far left politics they're into nowadays, because of how much noise they make in social media.
Yep.
So I think they've used social media as a barometer to kind of see what's trending and what people like, completely disregarding the real world.
Yeah, but I've also noticed that talking with some of them, right, that they all think that they're the majority. There's no, you're the loudest.
Yeah, and of course they only surround themselves with like-minded people, and they shut down anybody who thinks different than them. And not only that, we've been very guilty of that ourselves, because we don't really speak up a lot of times, because you can only be called a racist so many times before you like, okay, whatever, I'm not having any kind of
it takes the punch away from it.
Right, because you know what I mean. So I think that's why they think they're a majority. They think that we're just cavemen who can't accept change, when in reality we're far from that. I mean, hell, I'm a minority myself. I'm an immigrant. You know what I mean? And I can see through the bullshit. And I call it out all the time, because I know that America has gotten so politically correct that Americans won't speak up about it, but I will.
Well, and I think we need more people like yourself that will speak up and say, "Hey, you guys are wrong," because, I mean, if my distant relatives were immigrants, but I mean, I'm a white man. I have no say whatsoever anymore in the world because of my skin color.
Yeah, but I think, and that's what I always tell my friends and everybody who says that it's like, but they can only push you around so far as you let them. Like I understand that it's gotta be really annoying and really tough
if
to be called all kind of nasty names all the time. But to these people, man, they're cowards. All it takes is for you to stand up for yourself one time, tell them to fuck up, and they would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just have to look at history to know that rules for one and not for the. It never leads to something good.
Yeah. So I'm not going to read this entire article because it is actually pretty long. But if what we've read so far doesn't give you insight as to what we're going to be in for on Sunday's Super Bowl, it says in 2010, Dodge aired a spot promoting its Charger sports car titled "Man's Last Stand," showing a montage of beleaguered men with a voiceover listing a partner's endless requirements. That year, Dockers showed a group of men in their underwear singing "I Wear No Pants," concluding it with "It's time to wear the pants." And website creator GoDaddy marketed their product by featuring scantily clad professional auto racer Danica Patrick. Those types of ads will not be seen anymore. It says, hard to imagine those ads running today. It's not, though. It's not hard to imagine. Those were the ads that got the most clicks and the most views and the most laughter. We've forgotten how to laugh in the last 10 years.
And not only that, but I wonder if Danica Patrick felt objectified or if she felt good about, looking at.
Yeah, PC culture is killing comedy, and Carlin was talking about it before, and you remember the piece I was telling you before, Steve Hugh?
Yeah.
Offended? Because what happens? So what if you get offended? What? You got offended, and the next day you're gonna, hey, I got leprosy.
I didn't know those two were correlated. Good to know.
Right.
So, and speaking of just absolutely awful wokeness, and this is a group of people that I feel like even the far left don't really like, and that's PETA. So also tomorrow is the legendary Groundhog's Day, and PETA is up in arms, and they want a robot rodent instead of Groundhog Day's Phil.
What?
Yes. PETA is calling upon the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club to stop using a live groundhog and begin using a robot to predict the weather instead. In a letter released by PETA, I'm not reading all that, the animal rights group recommends releasing Punxsutawney Phil to a reputable sanctuary and investing in an animatronic rodent that would predict the weather using artificial intelligence.
Why?
Well, yeah, exactly. What? So luckily, the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club is standing their ground. They will not soon be ditching their traditions. In a sarcastic statement on their Facebook page, Groundhog Club co-handler John Griffiths said they actually already have a robot in their midst. And it is, he says, they found some old bicycle parks, inwards of an old Pac-Man game, and this is what we came up with, Griffiths said, pointing to the club president, Bill Dealey. That man in a top hat then began dancing like a robot. The Groundhog Club, established in 1887, has long supported their town's quirky tradition that comes around every February 2nd when people gather around a stage, sing, dance, drink, be merry, while waiting for Phil to pop out of his hole and declare if we're in for 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring. Now, I will say this. No matter if he sees his fucking shadow or not, we're still getting 6 more weeks of winter. That's just how it goes. Does not matter.
Yeah, it's just for fun. It's just for show. It's just a ritual. It's like, hey, let's do something fun with a little mascot. And
it is.
Yeah.
And to give you just a little bit more insight of old Phil, he actually lives better than most people in America. He said so Dealey, the president of the club, he insisted that the groundhog lives quite lavishly. In the winter, Phil sleeps in a warm environment, and in the summertime, he lives in an air-conditioned environment. The groundhog is also required by law by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to get a physical checkup every year, something that isn't even required of humans living in the United States. As I've said in the past, Dealey told the news outlet, Phil lives better than the average child in Western Pennsylvania. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But PETA insists when Phil is dragged out of his hole and held up to flashing lights and crowd, he has no idea what's happening, being relegated to the library, quote, habitat for the other days of the year doesn't allow him or the other groundhogs there to dig, burrow, or forage. Get lost, PETA. Good Lord.
Like first world problems, but for animals.
Yeah. Yeah, this poor, yeah, look at this. Look how fat this groundhog is. That is like, my dad has groundhogs that burrow in his yard. I've never seen any of them this large in my entire life. And he's had groundhogs there since we moved in when I was 5 years old. They were there when we got there. They make an awful mess. They cave in his driveway almost on a bi-yearly basis. But I've never seen one this big. This Phil here is living the life. But no, PETA is outraged and upset, as only PETA can be. Oh, man. What does he see here? Looking over at the chat, Drew says, PETA is all about raising money. It's an act. They do the outrageous stuff to get attention, which turns into donations. The people who run it eat meat. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yep.
I guess you can say the same about pretty much all woke organization. It's all about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Optimus Deadpool brings up another good point here. Whenever PETA shows up, just ask them why they kill so many animals. That'll shut them up. Yeah, they put down more animals than any other organization.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just, yeah, they're not really animal rights activists. They are just outrage activists is all they are.
They're just activists, period.
Yeah, basically.
Anything, yeah.
So let's finish off on a lighter note. This is a pretty great story. Man pleading for pot legalization lights up in front of judge. This comes from Nashville, Tennessee. A 20-year-old man was arrested this week after police said he smoked marijuana in front of a judge in a Tennessee courtroom. Spencer Allen Boston. Boy, they always have three names, don't they? Was called to the podium Monday in front of Judge Haywood Berry on a simple drug possession charge, according to Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan. Boston was apparently expressing a viewpoint that marijuana should be legalized. He is accused of then reaching into his pocket and pulling out a marijuana cigarette, lighting up and smoking, police said. Boston then turned around to make a comment to those sitting in the courtroom, and officers immediately took him into custody. Many in the courtroom bust out laughing, the sheriff said. Boston is charged with disorderly conduct and simple possession, according to police. His bond is $3,000, according to jail records. The marijuana that Boston smoked did have a strong odor, Bryan said. Tennessee, everybody.
That reminded me of the Florida man in the story that we were checking yesterday. The guy went to court and he was wearing a T-shirt. Fuck the police, and he was contesting and he fucking won.
That's hilarious. It's free speech. I don't agree with it, but it's free speech. Optimus says, "Look at that smile." Sketch says, "Boston went out like a boss." Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Mr. Yonapui, that bastard. Oh, that's good shit. Well, that is all I had for us today. Thank you guys for joining us. Carla, John, Paul.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me on.
My pleasure. Everybody in the chat, make sure you go check out the Grim Reaper. Like I said, link is in the description. Check out Paul's art. I did put the link to his stuff, to his YouTube channel and website in the description as well.
Yes.
Keep an eye out on him. What's that?
Yeah, I'll try and get more work done. I've been my day job has been taken over lately.
Yeah, it happens. I would love to see you do some more cover art. I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed, I think. Yeah.
I think that'd be good. Like I said, it's a market or a niche that hasn't really been exploited yet in Comicsgate. So
no.
Jump on it, man. There's always room for more.
Yep.
Make sure you also back Blood Hunt by Sim and myself. We're polishing it up every day, making it the best damn book possible. We're up to 96 pages.
No. No, not 96 pages. 69 pages of story.
Oh, I had it backwards.
And the book will be a full 70 page.
69.
69. Remember, I got class that's number 69 out of top 100. So.
That's right. I had just the numbers backwards. 96, 69. It's number dyslexia, folks. Hail to the chat. Thank you guys all for joining us as always. I love you all. You make this show really great. And make sure you tune in this afternoon. Sim, did we decide on a channel?
No, not yet. But it will be mine because we did yours. So I'll set it on mine because Nick is not going to be able to be there.
Okay, so tune into to Sim's channel later today for Doodle and Chill Season 2, Episode 2 for some good drawing fun. The link to
Eastern.
Yes, 6 p.m. Eastern. The link to his channel is also in the description, and I'm sure we will tweet out that link at some point this afternoon.
Yeah,
everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all soon.
Bye. And
bye-bye.
See you.